Alright guys, so I wanted to do a video where I pulled up some of my scouting tools from a desktop. So I think people are familiar with onXhunt. I think people are familiar with Basemap. And so I thought it would be a good idea to maybe break down Basemap and onX, kind of go over a same area and show you how their tools are similar and some of their differences. And I wanted to be kind of an unbiased, like I've used onX, I haven't used Basemap as much, but I was able to go in at least figure things out from a kind of from a basic standpoint. So I wanted you guys to see the difference between the two, the image quality, the tools, and go over price points. So let's dive into the differences from onX, Basemap, scouting from a desktop, and just go over some of their basic features and see if you guys can tell if there's a difference. One's better than the other. I can tell you right now, there's a massive price difference, and that could be the deciding factor for many people on a hunting budget.
We're going to log into onX. We're going to do a comparison, obviously, of onX and Basemap. And we're just going to, I'll tell you right now, I have years of using onX experience, but I've just been exposed to Basemap, and I want to kind of go through both. So I'm logging in right now from the desktop version. We can go over cell phones on another video. I do a lot of e-scouting from a desktop. So you can see logged in. That is where I'm at right now while I'm shooting this video. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. You can see land ownership here. This is the city of Spokane. We're on topo layer. And I'm going to zoom in and just kind of check things out. This is a decent topography map. You throw the hybrid over, so you got the aerial, photo, and topo combined like a hybrid, hence the name. Kind of zoom in tight and kind of see your level of detail. Can zoom in pretty tight. Starts to get a little fuzzy, but all in all, pretty good. You can see your contour lines. And yeah, you can see some mountain bike trails in here, and you can see it's got, it's got some elevation change for sure. Looks pretty good. We're going to switch to the satellite view. So now we don't have the overlay of the topo, but we can zoom in tight. You can see some of these mountain bike trails here. Back you out a little bit. You can see I have the fire history on. Let's compare the two and see same area, same map, and just kind of see what Basemap looks like. So let's log in. We can see that our house has changed quite a bit. We've taken this shed out. This is actually grass now. Wow, it's changed quite a bit. Our house is no longer red, and this tree is gone, but that's incredible detail. I'd say that just an initial wow factor on the map quality. Let's go to that park area. You can see here is the Camp Sakani. It's labeled pretty well. And there's your city of Spokane. We can definitely, let's first zoom in and just see how dirty we can get in here. So I don't think it's my imagination that this detail is insane. That's what we're wow, that is cool. So from e-scouting standpoint, I think Basemap hit it out of the park. Let's back out for a second and let's kind of navigate some contours. So go to layers, make sure that your nationwide government lands is turned on. There's your parcel coverage. We don't want that. Designated wilderness area, always have that turned on. Roadless areas. But let's check out this Washington State Department of Natural Resources. Generally, you can hunt places like this. This is kind of in town. That's obviously where you would probably potentially park. Although I would recommend parking further away and riding a bike in or something, because you're in the neighborhood. People are going to see you wearing camo. But you can back out and kind of see the boundary. There's some ag to the north. Looks like a tree farm to the northeast. Houses all around you. There could be deer in here, but this kind of doesn't look like. I'm checking to see who owns this piece of property right here. I have their tax address, the total acreage. Very, very convenient. And yeah, so it looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get into using tools. So I'm going to add a waypoint and then drag it to where I want it. Change the icon to access. I'm going to change the color of the icon to blue. We can put a picture corresponding. Maybe if you took a picture from your phone, you can do this from the phone as well. Yeah, let's just do that just so you guys can get an idea. So we're going to upload a picture to this waypoint. You can add notes. Possible hunt, access, save, and we're balling. So maybe we came in here and saw some deer sign, maybe talk to the neighbors, make sure they're cool in case something dies on their property, just kind of get to know people. Let's figure out, maybe we put a tree stand in the corner here, so let's pick that line style, that color. And you just click once and drag to the corner. Click once and we'll drag 300 yards. If you access, say you put a tree stand there, there it is. Okay. Maybe wanted to shade an area, like the deer might really focus on feeding right here. You can figure out that is. Change that to purple. Click once and then go hit save. 1.73 acres, maybe that's where they like their food. Okay, so that's a cool feature. You can change all the colors, the shading, everything like that. And let's check out some of the layers. So we're in Washington. We have private lands turned on, government lands turned on, the units. I'd have to zoom out further to see this stuff, but this is obviously in Spokane County. Go to the layer library. Those are add-on layers that you can buy. Let's go to the hunt table, trails and rec. Turn on the trails. Oh, there's trails in that national department. You can see the trails. Yikes. That means it's going to probably be people walking their dogs and people riding their mountain bikes. So that's good to know. Probably eliminate this spot altogether. It's got the trail miles. That's great. You can do the slope. Looks like it's pretty flat. There's a little bit of green and yellow contrast there for pitch changes. And you can use the motor vehicle roads to figure out where dirt bikes are allowed or four-wheelers, things like that. Topo grid, that's incredible. So let's do this. Let's go detailed look at this hunting spot. Potential hunt spot. It's almost a little bit 3D tilted, if you can tell. And we had kind of wondered what it looks like over here. I think we can kind of now tell. Good Lord. How's that for detail, friends? That's pretty neat. Washington Department of Natural Resources. All right. So we can see what active layers we have on right now. We're going to go ahead and turn some of these off. Let's see. We don't need the wilderness. So Turn that off for now. And we'll turn that off for now. See this green around it? Now that's green's gone, so we know it's not on. Good. Okay. That's just land. Let's go roads and trails. Nationwide trails. And those show up. Interesting. Okay. Let's take the opportunity to go over waters in case. Water depths for you guys in the fishing. Water access is important. Flood hazard zones. Nationwide lakes. Nationwide rivers. Okay. Let's go over points of interest. We'll turn that on. And we're going to leave that on. Wildfires. Current wildfires. Nation historic wildfires. Let's throw wildfires on. Not the timber cut. This isn't really the country for that. And you should see that this was all on fire in 18. It outlines the fire. That's really cool. So let's go back up to here and let's start geeking out on the tools. Okay, let's go to tools. We can add a marker. Yeah, I want all those. We can draw objects. So let's do a shape. Okay, and let's make that red. And call that deer feed. Potentially. It's 1.1 acres. Let's save. We're going to close that out. Let's go back to, well, you know what? Let's do a waypoint. So we want this to be a ground blind. We want this to be whatever. We can take this guy and we're going to put a ground blind right there. And you can make notes or whatever you want. Don't think we can change the color of the icon. Not a big deal. Add a photo. The photo is going to be my face. Place the photo on the map. There you go. It's saving. Oh, great. Photo was saved. So we click on that. You get me. There you go. We can do that. We just unlocked it. So now we can move it. Take that out of there. We're going to put it right here instead. Cool. We're not going to save changes. So yes, discard. All right. Let's do another waypoint. This time it's going to be it's where the car is going to be. Park the car right there. Save changes. Close that out. So you got your waypoint there. As far as tools go, let's do a line. Let's make it orange. Let's go here. There. That's what we want. 272 yards. So similar tools. Nautical charts and all that stuff, that's not going to apply really to this particular area. You can use the roadless area, which is very helpful. And you have all sorts of cool layers. You can see the historic wildfire here. Looks like it was 2016. There was a fire in there. Turn that off and it goes away. There's a fire in 2018. Place has been catching on fire. Is there any prairie dogs to hunt in the area? Doesn't look like it. So there's the layers. This is the stuff you can do on the My Content. You know, this is all the stuff I've ever done. If I wanted to export it over to Basemap, I would just hit export. There's 2 different file types. You can make a video on that. You can import KLM and GPX. You want to export KLM GPX out if you wanted to transfer your stuff to Basemap or vice versa. But yeah, so this is what you get for. It's like 99 bucks a year. I have an Elite. I have all those states, and price-wise, you know, it's good. But I think Basemap, I mean, is $29.99 for the year, and you get all 50 states. So there's 70 bucks. That's a gas. I mean, that's a tank of gas. That's a scouting trip. That's 70 bucks. I could buy my small game license and a couple turkey tags, and I'll be for the price difference. So. Now we're on Google Imagery with labels. Let's do a high-res satellite topo hybrid. And let's back out again and go over to that park area, which has a lot more contours. There's our park. There's all the mountain bike trails I never knew. I always knew there was a maze of mountain bike trails in there, but that shows you that they're all on there. That's impressive. So here's your contours. I like that. As I zoom in, I still can see what elevation we're at. I like zooming in tight and be able to see that. Let's do Topo Outdoors by Basemap. So Booger Basic, Topo. Shaded because it's timber. That seems pretty reasonable. Google Terrain. This is not on onX for sure. So it's going to be shaded. Oh, that's really cool. I like that feature. Google Terrain really does a good job of showing you what you're up against, especially if you're zoomed in at the right contour. So we'll back it up a little bit and you can really start to get a picture of the lay of the land. Pretty cool. I like I mean, that is really something special. You can really see the terrain features. Back to layers. ESRI World Imagery. Just another option. And friends, how cool is that? I mean, if you're doing online e-scouting, I think you're gonna want the Basemaps kicking butt. And then USGS Topo, sign me up. I love me a good USGS Topo. Let's check it out. Oh, phenomenal. So here's your tool bar right here as well. World Topo, Nat Geo World Map, OpenStreet. So, because people are going to want to know, if you went to onX and switched to Basemap, you would have exported all your KLM GPX files to separate, and you would import right here. You would select import both. Upload, boom, all your stuff is on here. I've already done this, so we got 700, 800 waypoints. That's pretty cool that all that's already in my, I've already imported all my stuff from onX over, so that's really cool. But I wanted to give you this is just the first impression of doing e-scouting. I think a lot of you know that I've done most of my stuff through Google Earth on e-scouting. Created KLM files and then imported them into onX historically. I might be able to do more scouting through the layers that Basemap has, because quite honestly there's some really good imagery. If we just go back to my house and look at the differences between the Google imagery, that is filthy. Let's check the world imagery. more up to date, but still this is hasn't updated completely because this is no longer in existence. Sold the camper. Got rid of these rocks. We have a paved path to the front house. House is not red. Things like that. We have a huge garden right here. So looks like this is the winner. Let's try high-res satellite imagery. I think this is as much as we can zoom in. Google Imagery with labels. Good Lord, that is unbelievable. Looks like they were putting a roof on at the time that this picture was taken. Let's tilt the map. And let's tilt the map again. Or rotate it. Man, so that's generally what you would see this view on most mapping softwares like onX. But having this tilt feature just really makes it something else. Look at that. And I don't mind using my house because y'all know where I live.
Alright guys, so you kind of saw the difference there between Basemap and onX. They have very similar tools, some different functions. I'm going to say as far as the scorecard goes, just from initial impressions, I'm going to say onX, great, easy to use, user-friendly. Quality of maps, not as good as Basemap. I think that was actually really obvious. I think Basemap had more layers. Like the Google Earth overlay could have more detail. You could tilt. I thought the topo was a game changer on the Basemap as well. I thought the waypoint color change on onX was cool. I imagine Basemap will be able to do that, but both you can pick different waypoint icons, which is great. You can add notes, you can take pictures with your waypoint and add it to it. You can draw lines, you can shade. I mean, they're very similar except for their prices. So onX Elite having all 50 states is 99 bucks and Basemap is 29 bucks. And then for a single state, you know, onX is 29 bucks for one state, so you can spend 29 bucks and get all 50. We are going to do another video, and Tim's going to break down the differences on cell phones so you can see, because everything we did today on the desktop will automatically sync to your cell phone, and once you're out in the field, you're going to want to see your e-scouting come to life. And so Tim's going to do a follow-up video and kind of go over the differences and how to use those as well. But we just want to show you guys some scouting tools while you're maybe at home, have some downtime, log in, maybe do a Basemap trial, do an onX trial, and see the differences for yourself and decide, you know, is it worth the extra 70 bucks, or is it maybe smarter to just go with Basemap at 29? I know what I'm doing, but you do you.